Thanks for hanging out with us today on Good Day State Line. Confused on what to do with your 401k when you get a new job? Leah Evers from Edward Jones is here to help us navigate through the process. Hi, Leah.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thanks
for coming. I love when we have repeats. You're a repeat, so you know you did a great job the first time. We need to learn more from you.
Well, thank you.
So you're a financial advisor with Edward Jones. How long have you been with Edward Jones?
Been with Edward Jones 4 years, in the industry for about 15.
That's a long time.
Yes.
So you're very knowledgeable.
You're
like, yes, that's why I'm here. So we're talking about 401ks today, and
yes.
it's so funny because I was talking to somebody about this recently, actually, about like changing your job and not knowing, because that's through
What
the
to do.
company.
Mhm.
It's different than like an IRA, which is usually just your own thing,
Correct.
right?
An IRA is usually at a financial institution, like with an advisor, like at Edward Jones, or possibly at a bank.
Okay, and then the 401k is through your employer. And so what happens when you leave your job?
So on average, people change jobs 12 times before they transition to retirement. And that's a lot of 401ks to have. I don't really want to be in retirement with 12 401ks myself.
A lot.
So they have 4 options on what they can do. They can leave it with their old employer, and that's how you end up with 12 401ks potentially. They can move it to their new employer if their new employer allows it.
Okay.
So sometimes that's not allowed, but most plans do allow for it. But you've got to weigh at that point the investment options that you have and how much flexibility you have, if it makes sense for you. And then you can take it. And if you take it, you're paying taxes on it.
Okay.
If you're under 59.5, you're paying an extra 10% penalty on top of that. And you know, the tax consequences are probably not cheap. Adds to income for you for that year. Also, if you take it, you're now starting over in your new 401k to plan for retirement. And then the last option is to roll it into a IRA. So as we talked about earlier, that's with usually a financial institution such as Edward Jones. There you have a lot more flexibility, a lot more investment options, kind of unlimited, almost unlimited, probably 60,000 different investment options in most IRAs. So there's a lot of flexibility there and control.
Sure. So you said you have like a little, you say it really fast. Say it for me.
Leave it, take it, roll it, move it.
Yeah, it sounds like an exercise, really. But if you leave it, so I was looking at the list and I really thought leave it was just like peace out to your money. Like I didn't realize you meant you can actually like leave it with your employer.
With your
and
former
then, yeah,
employer,
and that's, so it stops making money, right?
So it's still invested.
Okay.
So it's not that it freezes, but you can no longer make contributions.
Okay.
So you can't add to it anymore. Usually you're not allowed to take loans and things like that against it anymore.
It's kind of just hanging out.
Yeah, it's just
And
sitting there.
It seems like maybe you think that's the worst option.
Well, I use an analogy for this a lot. If you're gonna sell your house and you have your dream car in the garage, are you gonna let the new owner watch it?
Probably not.
Probably
Unless
not.
it's
You're
like
gonna
your
take it with you.
So okay, so leave it as an option, but it's not your favorite option of
No.
the list, and that it just like kind of hangs, grows a little bit, but not
Yeah.
much. Moving it to a new employer, is that complicated?
It depends on the new employer.
Okay.
The paperwork can be pretty simple. I've also seen really complicated versions, so it really depends on the plan.
Okay, so that, yeah, so that's a maybe.
Yeah.
And then taking it means like,
A lot of tax
Emptying
consequences.
it,
Yes.
right?
That means spending it.
yeah,
You're
which
taking it and putting it in your savings account or spending it on something.
probably not a good idea if you're like 32.
Probably not. You got some time
Closer.
still to resave,
Yeah.
but you're having to start over.
Right, which the whole point of starting is to not have to start later, right? Isn't that
Right.
the whole point of starting
Yes.
your 401k, IRA,
Absolutely.
the younger you are? So you said taking it is really only the greatest option if you're 59 and a half?
59.5 and over, you
Okay.
pay less because
Okay.
you're not going to pay a penalty.
Okay.
The penalty for under 59.5 is 10%.
Okay.
And then on top of that, it's taxed as income. So whatever your income tax bracket is, and that could actually make your income tax bracket higher
Because you're taking the money.
because you're taking the money.
Okay, so under 59 and a half, probably not the highest on the list.
Well, and over 59.5, it's still taxed as
Okay.
income. It's just not penalized.
Got it. But I feel like your favorite choice here is number 4, which is roll it into an IRA.
I think, and I say it depends a lot, but it really depends on the client and what's most important to them. But For the most part, with the people I work with, that tends to be what we do. And it's usually because they value getting advice and having someone helping them with their goal planning and their diversification, keeping them on track towards retirement.
So that's a good option for most people. Doesn't really matter how old you are. None of those pieces of the puzzle fit in for that one.
Yeah, usually you're going to either move it or roll it.
So clearly we've learned today that Leah is a financial genius. And if you're having these problems, you got to talk it out with somebody like Leah. That seems to be a good option, especially if you are changing a job. Like 12 times is a lot, and even 4 or 5 is a lot when it comes to moving your money around.
Right.
So definitely want to get more help from Leah, and where can we go to do that?
Our phone number is 815-623-8966. Our website, www.edwardjones.com/Leah-Evers, and that's LEA-EVERS. And we are located right across the street from Sophia's restaurant in Roscoe at 5412 Bridge Street, Roscoe.
Perfect. Well, thanks for stopping by, Leah. I'm sure we'll have you
Thank you.
back to talk more money.
Thank you.
We're hanging on to summer as long as we can here on Good Day State Line. So let's get a quick check of the weather to see if those warmer temps are sticking around. We'll be right back.